And this segment is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sports booking app. Not only is it safe, but it is secure. And my man Deke, most importantly, it's reliable. Because we know reliability is key. That's what we love and cherish the absolute most. And for all the first-time users, we got something special for first-time users. You remember what it was?
I have a decent memory, yes. I believe it's a pretty good deal, no?
Yeah, and it's something with a promo code. It's right on the tip of my tongue. Do you know what the promo code is?
Yeah, it's Moats.
Moats.
Yeah.
So if you use the promo code Moats, you will receive up to $1,000 in deposit bonus money. I don't know if you heard that. If you use the promo code Moats, you will receive up to $1,000. You got that, right?
Mm-hmm.
$1,000 in deposit bonus money. I mean, that's a great situation, a great opportunity. So what are you waiting on? No, seriously, like, what are they waiting on?
I'm not sure.
Dude, download the app, use the promo code, and make the opportunity to get some money. Next one we have is from Sean Andrew. I actually like this question a lot too, Sean. Should we take it easy for the rest of the season to get some guys back for the playoffs? Actually, Sean, I do agree. So this was what I was thinking last night, man. In that second half, we started getting banged up offensively and defensively. Not only did we get banged up, let's be real, we lost Matt Fowler in the game to a pec injury, and then we turned around and lost Dotson a quarter later to a pec injury. Honestly, I'm hoping it's not the full extent, because you
what the hell is that guy doing that's on those those guards? He's just taking out packs.
Like, it was crazy. Like, literally, I remember telling my wife, I'm like, as soon as Matt went down, I said, babe, that's a pec. Like, I know exactly how he grabbed it from personal experience. I'm like, that's a pec. Then I'm looking, I'm like, Dotson go down. I'm like, babe, I think Dotson just did his pec. It's just like, no, it's saying shoulder. A couple of later, a little bit of time go by, Dotson, pec. I'm like, God dang, like I don't know what was going on over there. It was kind of like, man, we talked about our linebackers and how they kept having knees. I'm like, look, man, linebackers and knees and this O-line of these pecs right now, like, this is crazy. But I mean, we saw both of those guys go out in the game yesterday. So to me, man, I was I was already in that mindset of, all right, look, the Chiefs, they've officially taken over that one spot, right? And I said, man, depending on these last couple of games,
we play after.
Yeah.
So, we play Monday night.
Right. So to me, I'm just sitting here like, all right, what's more important right now? Do we feel like we're going to be able to get these next three? And with that, not only get those, but are the Chiefs going to potentially drop one? So that way we can make it a little bit more of a debate, right? And get in the conversation. Or do you say, you know what, play this next game like we want to, but then those final two, we start looking into resting some guys. We're not for the full game. Say you do just 3/4, or you play a half or 3/4 in that second to last game. And in that last game, treat it like a pseudo fourth preseason game, man. Because to me, especially with it only being one that's getting a bye this year, right? If you're not going to be in that conversation, health immediately takes over. And right now, we're seeing a team that is starting to get a little banged up. We saw Chooks go out for a little while. Granted, he was able to come back. Alex Highsmith, he was in and out dealing with some ankle issues as well. That, to me, is starting to become the bigger issue. I mean, we can go as much as crazy as we want for these next couple of games and still fall short, right? We can still go crazy and still not make it right now in terms of getting that one seed. But to me, I just think that health is definitely going to start to be valued a lot more than that one seed as this thing progresses at this point in the season, man.
Yeah, I don't think I really don't think it's the worst idea, especially it depends on how you weigh things. And we've talked about this in the past about home field advantage. How much is that really going to be affecting things in these playoffs?
Yeah, we already said in Pittsburgh, we're not having fans. You just have family, like the players' immediate family are at the games. But other than that, it's not as if you're going to have the 5,000 that was there at least earlier in the year.
Are you willing to just chuck the AFC North title?
Well, see, this is the thing, and that's why I said it's really these next couple of games, because
if the Browns
lose tonight, we should be fine. We're good. If the Browns win, now it's a different scenario. And that's why I said this next game or two is really going to tell us a lot more, because Browns and Ravens tonight is big. That's big time ball for both teams. Honestly, we probably want Baltimore to win because, number one, that gives the Browns that extra loss in the division pretty much solidify it for us.
We would.
Yeah, that would pretty much lock it up for us and would be good. If the Browns win, now we don't have it locked up and we really won't get that opportunity until the Browns is another one in the division. I would have to see who they have after Baltimore. I know they have us at the end, but I don't know if they have Cincinnati one more time. That's what I'd have to look into. But that, to me, if the division is available, of course you want to win the division. But if it's a scenario where,
but that's my question though, is like, we're going to be playing week 1 of the wild card games anyway. Does it matter if we have to go up to Cleveland for the wild card game, or if we have to go to Indy?
Put it like this:
versus playing at Heinz Field.
But for this is
it's a pride thing for sure.
It's pride. If we're losing the division to Baltimore, I could deal with that. Even if it was Cincinnati, because Cincinnati's done it in the past, I could deal with that. I can't deal with Cleveland winning the division. That's my issue.
Okay.
That's why I said for me, I need as much as I don't want to.
That's over health.
It's certain things. All right, forgive me. All right,
it's fine. I'm curious.
Right.
That's what I mean. I got to go through the checklist here. But bro, what's the important stuff?
Could you imagine Cleveland?
I wouldn't be happy about it,
bro. You think Baker Mayfield was annoying beforehand? Imagine them winning the division this year. Come on, bro. I can't deal with that, especially after us going 11-0. Man, I would lose my mind with some of the stuff. They are annoying. That fan base can be very annoying, bro.
But here's the thing. We know, and this is kind of like stuff I've been thinking about. Is like,
I'm with you.
We've been in the playoffs. We've been in Super Bowl, so we know like this stuff really.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't. Like, I'm with you.
It's all about winning the Super Bowl at the end of the day. Because sure, you could win this division, then you're getting bounced first round of the wild card. Like we could go up to Cleveland and beat you in the playoffs. But that's what really matters. I look at it like this though, and I would have to see the seeding, but could we get a scenario where we play Cleveland that last game of the year, and then because of us winning the division and then their potential seeding, we play them again that following week, in Pittsburgh. It'll just be at home.
Like, because we've seen scenarios like that just based on the division and how everything finalized from a seeding standpoint. So I'm just sitting here like, if it's a scenario like that, I still feel good either way, but it's more so the pride thing. Hindsight 2020, of course, health over the division, but I just want the division, and I don't want Cleveland to win the division. That's my problem. I don't want if it's Baltimore. Okay, cool, because Baltimore is there. We respect them, right? We view them as up there with us. We don't view Cleveland in that same vein, and that's why I feel just like I just the thought of the Browns finally went like, no, I don't want that.
Yeah, because my point is, I think Cincy. I think they won the division when we went up there in 2015.
The year when no, they won it in 15. And they won it the year when Debo was there. Was that 11 or 12? No, it would have been 13. That one year that Debo spent in Cincinnati, they won it that year as well.
But the 15 I'm talking about is they won the division. We go up there and we beat them in the playoffs. What's more important, the one that we won in the playoffs?
But I will say this though. Remember when we played them twice, it wasn't the last game or second to last game. It was still a little bit earlier in the month as well, though.
I can't remember when we played them or not.
And we beat them the second time. Yeah, we beat them the second and third time. We lost them the first time.
To be honest with you, my point is like I actually don't really remember when we played those games or anything. What I do remember is us going up there and beating them in the wild card. Like that's more important to me.
Yeah,
winning the playoffs and trying to win that Super Bowl.
Yeah,
but 100%. I get what you're saying because. I'm about that. So whatever increases our chances of Super Bowl and playoff success is kind of what I'm about. And
that's why
I
led off and said,
because we already clinched the playoffs. We already clinched the playoffs, and especially with it being 2020, we talked about this in the past. If you're not getting the number 1 seed, and even though I do think there is something to home field, I've mentioned this in the past as well. Dude, if you're going to tell me the player that, man, it's really not going to be that impactful if you go on the road in this 2020 playoffs,
then say in this environment, it's not the same, bro.
Health's up there then in importance. Yeah. It really is.
It's not the same, man. Trust me, that game last night with fans, it's a totally different atmosphere. It's a total different beast in terms of just the communication, in terms of just the energy and the intensity. I mean, it was times where, people were saying it looked like a glorified scrimmage, especially, I guess they weren't pumping in as much of the crowd noise either this time. So people were like, it was really quiet. But you have to remember, what we hear on TV broadcasts is different than what those guys are hearing in the stadium. It's quiet. It's weird a little bit. But that's why, to me, I don't think home field advantage in this situation matters. Like,
if you're not getting that bye.
It's more like imagine if you had the Lakers versus the Clippers, right? And you're just playing in somebody's regular YMCA gym. The gym is still the same in terms of the hoop size, but let's be real, there's no fans there, right? So it's quiet. That's what the games are like. It's more so it doesn't matter who's around because nobody's around. It's more so, all right, we just got to play our game, motivate ourselves.
It's just not going to be our home colors. Like,
right, that's it.
Around the stadium, the branding. That's
Other than
really
that, it's really no impact in terms of being out there on the field because of 2020 being like that. And I do feel now, too, multiple stadiums that were allowing fans early on have reverted back to what we're doing now in terms of no fans even being allowed. So that's why, to me, I don't think it has the same significance. I mean, shoot, yesterday, the Steelers traveled the day of the game. They traveled yesterday
I was thinking
morning.
that too. I read that. Yeah. I didn't know that until after the game. I was reading. I'm like, bro, that had to affect you.
Yeah, they traveled yesterday morning.
That's like, what, 4 hours drive?
Yeah. Well, they flew.
Okay.
They flew, so it was a little bit quicker. But the thing still is, it's like, man, when you're traveling the day of, your routine is thrown off. Some guy, like, when you travel the day of, you're going straight airport to stadium. Now, just a little bit behind the curtain, you're able to go to the stadium. When you're playing on the road, you typically have 3 time slots to go to the stadium through the team, right? You have the early bus. So since a primetime game, right? 8:25 game. You got the early bus that'll get you there 4 or 5 hours for the game. You show up when the medical people show up, right? When you talk about a guy being a game time decision, they say, oh, he worked out for the medical staff beforehand. Those guys are doing that 5 hours, 4 hours before the kickoff. They're the super first bus. Then you have a second bus to get you there about, 3 hours before kickoff. So you still got a good amount of time, but it's not crazy early, And then you got the last bus. That's the one that's going to get you there about 2.5 hours before kickoff. That was me. I love the last bus because I hate just sitting in a locker room fully dressed, waiting for a game to start, and I got 2-3 hours. Like, I don't want to do that. I'd rather sit in a hotel room, watch TV, eat room service, whatever. So when you talk about traveling the day of, you lose that luxury. So if you're a guy that wants to get there early, you're getting there at this time. If you're a guy that wants to get there late, you don't have that option. You're getting there at this time. You want a guy that want to get in the middle, you don't have the option. You're showing up at this time. So you can just see how the routine was altered, by them doing that. Now, we're not saying that's an excuse, but does it play a role? Without a doubt, it does play a role.
I mean, you plus that with, like we've said in the past, the 3 games in 12 days. And I even looked this up. Like, that's not actually that much of an uncommon thing.
Correct.
Like, if you have 2 Sunday games and a Thursday game, like, that is what it is. But facing the Bills, we talked about Washington. They're a little bit of a better team than we thought. Not having a bye since like week 3 or week 4, whatever that was. I mean, that stuff's going to add up, but that goes hand in hand why I'm still positive about the Steelers going forward. It's just it's a bad stretch. A lot of teams go through it. Super Bowl teams go through it. Like,
without a doubt,
dude. I did the research. I could list off all like the Super Bowl teams in the past 10 years. I mean, they 12-4, 11-5.
The one that always stands up to me is the year where we beat the Patriots. This would have been 2018.
Yeah, they lost 2 games. It's like they lost 2 of their last 4 weeks.
Miami, and they were like, oh, they never lose back to back. Oh, is the Patriots regime over? And they go and run the table. So that's why it's like we've been in this situation and we've seen other people in this situation. That's why I'm never a guy that's like, man, it's time to just, burn it all up, man. It's a disaster. That's not the case right here, man. It's a lot of positivity still going on, but it's more so
our
we have to,
play,
it's on us detailing. It's on us combing through it. And that's why I say, man, you can't seek the comfort. And that's what Coach Tom always talks about. We don't seek comfort, we seek solutions. So you identify what the issues are, as uncomfortable as it may be, and then from there you address it, you find the solution, and you implement it. So it's gonna be interesting though, man. It's definitely gonna be interesting, bro.
Yeah, we got 3 weeks. This is happening in the regular season. So this is
the luxury for us.
This is the good time to have this breaking point, and we have 3 weeks here. And luckily, this Monday night one, it's against the Bengals without Joe Burrow.
Let's get right.
Yeah,
absolutely, man.
Let's be real about that.
Absolutely,
with an extra day or 2 of West being on the Monday night game.
Yeah, absolutely, it's huge, man.